Soul Train line.
They putting it everywhere.
Yeah.
I took my grandson to see what was the movie with Buzz Light.
Toy Story?
Not that one, but
the new Buzz. The Lightyear. I think it's
yeah,
called
with
Lightyear.
Kiki Palmer's in that movie.
Okay.
She plays like the daughter. So we watching it, and the lady, which is Kiki's mama, they move on into the space years. They move down the line. They're like, man, she had a baby with a woman.
Video mistakenly edited. Here's the clip. Disney exposing kids too soon. I'm like, why did you edit it? Maybe because you couldn't even have a voice and your whole freaking video was getting racial for that part.
Well, my grandson in the middle of the movie like, Papa Snoop, how she have a baby with a woman? She a woman. Oh, shit. I didn't come in for this shit. I just came to watch the goddamn movie.
I already had this talk with my son. I said, hey, do you want to make a baby? Yes. Well, I guess you're going to have to do it with a woman. That's it. And if you see people with that, maybe they already had the baby or they adopted the baby.
They just said she had a baby. They both women. How did she have a baby? That's like, I'm scared to go to the movies now. Like, y'all throwing me in the middle of shit that I don't have an answer for.
Actually, I think you do have an answer for. And I don't think you're scared because you live in the hood. You have experienced stuff. That's why people say you are the guy that is rapping about stuff back in the day. Nah. You know you might get silenced. You know you might get canceled.
What'd you tell him?
Watch the movie. Eat this popcorn.
Shh. You said we don't know. We don't know.
It threw me for a loop. I'm like, what part of the movie was this? These are kids that we have to show that at this age. Like
that part.
They're going to ask questions.
Yeah.
They are going to ask. I don't have the answer.
Yeah. And I don't even know the answer that's rehearsed. What am I supposed to say? Was the lady used to be I got questions now.
I don't want my kid to watch a scene reflecting Israel and Palestine. It doesn't matter on which side I am. The idea that I explain it, the perception of a kid is totally different. You might create a bigger issue than you think. That's why you don't see Jesus genderly in a non-Jesus movie.
And I was just there to go to sleep and watch the movie. The nigga woke me up. I'm in there. Huh? They just said that she had a baby. How? They both women. Oh, man, damn. Yeah, eat this popcorn.
Damn.
Like, to be honest, why is everybody's panties in a twist? I feel like that was a genuine interaction between him and his grandson. I don't think he was slamming a whole community. But yeah, good luck canceling Snoop Dogg. I think you guys tried around the election too, didn't ya? So much outrage. That man is good. He's gonna continue to go around being Snoop, and then you guys will continue to cry all over the internet.
All I have to say is this. I didn't even know Snoop Dogg has such a big family. I didn't even know he married his sweetheart. The fact that he started so gangster, but he did all this, I'm like, hey, good for you. I'm happy for you. As a grandfather, you might get gangster question. Yes. Sometimes you don't know how to address it at such a young age with specific topic. Snoop Dogg going from go to right-wing grifter is really sad. If we lose Snoop Dogg, you lost the culture war. She has a point.
So there's a on my face. The interview that Snoop Dogg is doing going around where he was like, I took my son to the light buzz, whatever Toy Story movie that's out. And it had two women kissing, and somehow he just could not explain that gay people exist. This man is upset because he had to explain that people who are not straight exist.
She's totally misrepresenting what he was saying. Mm-hmm. He does not want them to exist. He just said two women had a baby.
Right.
How do you explain that to a kid?
Yeah, you can't explain that to a kid. It's and beyond that comprehension.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Even Hodgman understands that point. Even my son understands that point, and he is 7. It's like they can have a baby. I says, yes, they can have a baby. Some of them do like each other, but they can have a baby. Remember to subscribe.
Snoop said he was scared, right, to go to the movies now. Snoop is not scared to go to the movies. This dude grew up in the hood. Going to the movies does not scare him. He was talking metaphorically.
See? I told you. He's from the hood. Why would he be afraid?
As if that was a difficult thing for him to do. This is the type of weaponized incompetence that has allowed anti-LGBTQ, anything anti-gay to exist.
She's totally reading that. She's got the little teleprompter app going on her phone.
Yeah.
It doesn't even sound genuine when she's saying it because it's just a talking point.
Yeah.
If you are a parent and you feel uncomfortable with certain things in certain movies, in front of your prepubescent child, it's totally nothing wrong with that. But these people will demonize you for it.
Yeah, vilify you for it.
As long as it has, because for some reason, people want to act like gay people don't exist.
No. So she's totally misrepresenting what he said on the podcast.
Right.
That's why I tell everybody, watch the content, be careful what you hear, because sometimes somebody says something and the other side represents it in a totally different way, and there's nothing you can say to get them on your side unless you say exactly what they want. Snoop Dogg criticizing the LGBTQIA+ is not surprising considering he is buddy with the orange piece of poop, but hey, continue to be a capitalist who known for going against his own words all for a check. So if anybody has their own opinion and they change it, it's always about money. I think Snoop was earning money all the time.
So there are actually people upset with Snoop Dogg because he said he doesn't want his grandson being introduced to homosexuality in a Disney movie. Why are you mad? If you're really upset about the whole Snoop Dogg situation, I'm staying far away from you because obviously you're a weirdo. Kids should not know about sex. I thought everybody knew that. Apparently not.
Somebody said, I'm scared to show any new children's movie to my children. That's sad. Why? Because I don't want to go watch a Disney movie like a Pixar movie and then I see a wolf twerking.
Oh, that's nothing. You want to see crap? What are you doing? Stop moving like that. Is this bothering you? Take it, move. Take it. Stop it.
Do you have any idea how parents would feel if they're watching this with their kids?
So, who had Snoop Dogg pegged for a whiny bitch? Uh-huh. Yep. He took his grandson to see Lightyear and got overwhelmed when two women kissed. And that they had a baby. And that he just couldn't explain it to his grandson. And that, oh, I don't want to see that shit. I didn't come here to see that shit. I didn't even know Snoop Dogg was homophobic. Clearly he is.
And even people on your side are like, hey, this is everywhere, even if we are lesbian.
When you see yourself being represented at Barnes & Nobles like this.
We're in Barnes & Nobles, and there's a kids book section, a gay kids book section, and this shit is crazy. Look at this. Okay, there's the gay BCs, right? Bye-bye binary. Bye-bye binary with a mohawk on a baby. Gay BCs, you're not ready. Can you hold this? Okay. What? A is for arrow and ace. B is for bi. This is crazy. We're gay, but this is crazy.
They putting it everywhere.
What? For a baby? Okay, E is for equality. We'll take that. The F is for family. Okay, we're getting better. Okay, why did it start so crazy? Just for hope. It got better.
When the number of supposed LGBT people keeps rising, along with the number of kids that supposedly have gender dysphoria. You don't agree with any of it because you know for sure that most of these kids, in fact, probably like 90% of them, are just going to wind up being basic gays. We know that most of these kids just don't know who they are. They need a community. They need purpose. Yet they are speaking out for our rights, for us. Not making any sense, by the way, and making things worse because this is where we're.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is coming from a lesbian. My favorite lesbian. It's not that she's a right-winger. She just speaks sense that I'm like, hey, that actually makes sense. And she posts videos that make sense that she thinks might be the issue that we can never find cohesion.
We'll talk about the bisexual woman to lesbian non-binary to straight trans man to gay trans man pipeline, but nobody talks about the bisexual woman to bisexual non-binary with a boyfriend pipeline. People love to shit on bisexual women with boyfriends. That's why I'm a non-binary woman dating a non-binary man. If you don't get anything that I just said, then congrats. You're boring. And you have no culture.
Same-sex marriage is on the decline, and more people are realizing that normal gays and trans like myself, Buck Angel, Blair White, Rob Smith, are not the actual problem. We are not the ones that are causing this dramatic shift. It is indeed the insane left. People are even writing op-ed pieces. When you realize it's those people that hate America so much, just because gay marriage has a very minuscule chance of being overturned, yet those same people are fighting for Ukraine, Iran, and Palestine, where gay marriage isn't legal at all. In fact, some of those countries have a death sentence for simply being gay.
It's not that we don't want to make sense. It's a difficult topic because even if you try to give an answer, you have a different answer.
Are you queer?
Yes.
Would you go to Israel?
I would go to Palestine.
Even though, wait, but if you went to Palestine, you'd be thrown off of a building.
I mean, Israel...
For being gay.
Think about it. Israel is Palestine.
Even if you have a right answer, you cannot win. So even if Snoop Dogg had the right answer, they're just gonna say, oh, he is phobic, when actually he didn't know how he can explain it to a kid that mommies can't have babies. Because if he said that, you're gonna say, yeah, but a trans man...
Demi Lovato, Jojo Siwa, and Fletcher are back to dating men, and we have a transgender New Yorkers telling Don Lemon to piss off, basically.
Live in New York?
I do.
What do you think of the prices?
I think the Democrats have screwed us all.
The Democrats in New York?
Of course. I walked away from the Democrat plantation. I had to. Just because I'm transgender doesn't mean I need to be a Democrat. I hate what the city has become. It used to be beautiful and fabulous.
And?
Now it's and we need Trump 2028.
Hold on. Trump 2028, you think he should run again?
Of course.
But that's not...
Hey, the Democrats can be like, we can get Obama. So you know what? Go along with
Yeah, Obama. That lied about the fine people over and over when for years it was already confirmed it was a hoax. Good luck with that.
Is once you start to see the bullshit, you cannot unsee it. When leftists call Trump a misogynistic fascist, but then vote to elect Muslims into office. When J.K. Rowling is literally afraid to leave her house to go to any events because she's being targeted for standing up for women. Police have had to investigate these death threat signs, by the way. When a lesbian in Canada gets tossed from a queer party because she's wearing braids that go against the cultural appropriation policy.
Hi, everybody. I'm at the Bastard Barbecue right now. All my friends are in there. But I guess supposedly since I have wool in my hair, I'm not allowed in. And there's a big voucher thing that they want me to read and sign, and they want to give me, they want to refund my money and not let me in, and I just paid $60 and drove all the way from New West. And I also just drove all the way here from Headley so that I could be here last night and got home at 4 o'clock in the morning. And now I can't get in because of my hair.
What's even worse, I don't think that's even real hair. It's fake hair.
Supposedly since I have wool in my hair.
You're part of the LGBT, but you can't enter because you have dreads? What? Didn't Vikings start with dreads before Jamaica started with dreads?
It was included in, when you bought your ticket, it was included, our poker corporation policy was included when you bought your ticket, when you, like, in the description of the event. So it is something that was put out ahead of time. And so I apologize.
I don't really understand. So you're not letting me in because of my hairstyle?
Correct.
Yeah, so, if it doesn't align with a culture that...
I am Viking. Vikings have dreads.
I knew it! I'm not crazy!
If you want me to go debate everybody in there on whether or not Vikings or Celtic people can have dreadlocks in their hair, I will do it.
Buck Angel said, okay, but wait, when you transition, are you appropriating another sex? When every week there's a new celebrity's kid that comes out as trans or non-binary? When you see Billie Eilish, Sydney Sweeney, and Joey Swole getting canceled for the most ridiculous that doesn't even matter? The truth is, every time leftists have a witch hunt, they create more conservatives or moderate.
And I'll just stop right here. Let me know if going after Snoop Dogg is going to create more conservative. I really want to know that answer.
Don't get me wrong, ma cosa kita bong. Put the fire na mi blonde, kush hash, purple skunk, criollo, colombici, jam, jam, turloqueta, verdetta, welcome.